So, in continuation to our discussion on applications of image processing, we have considered one suitable application as one in agro sector, and the problem is classification of rice fractions in the grains that we receive on public distribution system. So, FCI is a procurement agency and storage agency, and there are other marketing agencies like Markfed and other state agencies. So, BIS, Bureau of Indian Standards, has already generated long ago a standard for such refractions in the grain, in the rice grains. So, without going to details of this that will follow in the case study, I am here to just give you some important points of the title. The title talks about uniform specification. So, uniform specification here I mean that it is no longer a subjective way of choosing or binning the grains. It should be like uniform on a national basis. So, it is not that you find labor doing this job of binning the grains and finding the good ones in one place and other refractions, whether they are broken or colored or discolored. As you will see the details, there are 10 kind of such refractions. So, we are going to do rice, just the same rice into 10 classes. So, the normal grain that we receive through public distribution has lot problems or refractions as they call it, which are undesirable in nature, but permissible in certain limits. So, the application tries to know the properties of grains, each grain tries to classify them through color image processing, and also gives them a report like a certificate, like an online report. The online version is also ready now after all that color image processing and classification. So, the uniformity point was when I mentioned when totally automation is achieved by a machine on a 24/7 basis. You will see later on a version, online version of this is also possible, where a submission of rice grain sample is done over the web. So, the idea is that uniformity can come over a large sized nation as ours without getting subjective classification of this. So, that is the basis of all that. In the title that I picked up the word say uniform specification, like a standard basically. The uniform specification comes from the standard. So, giving you now this case study in somewhat details and skipping the fundamentals that we have already discussed on color image processing. This now slide gives you the objectives, the other approaches available for similar kind of applications, the algorithm that we have developed in the form of a flow chart, and how humans have been doing in the past classification of grains through visual means or through manual means or even through algorithms in some limited manner, and applying it to the total grain level, finally using training of artificial neural network for classification of such a application project, and also making some comparisons of other approaches. And ultimately, as I mentioned, the agro sector has come from social sector and it has a social impact. The uniformity word which I discussed a little bit earlier creates that social impact as well. So, with that summary we move ahead with some objectives. So, as you can see, the work is to see that the refractions, some of these details may come from application as you will see. So, please bear with me that there are some of the domain knowledge that we had to acquire and anyone working in an application would have to acquire. So, some of the information may appear somewhat unrelated to the image processing, but actually the problem wise we had to go through all that. So, if I say when I say fair average quality means acceptable quality of refractions, acceptable quantity of refractions, basically they have specified in percentages, like how much of percentage is acceptable. So, by weight we have to measure it quantitatively at the end of the report generation. So, we have to know how many of the grains are undesirable refractions for each class and then weigh them. Again you will see weight has also been obtained through software simulation, that training has been done within the system. So, and also with that relaxed specification is a term used by BIS, that there are some relaxed specification, means the percentages values are specified in a relaxed manner, that okay, certain number of say broken grains are allowed, some percentage of grains are allowed. So, that way it gives as relaxation, because this grains, these grains that we have are not expected to be 100% sound grains. So, some percentage of say certain refractions are allowed as acceptable, that is the term. So, coming to the now technical details, except the first objective was to use flat bed scanner. The imaging acquisition system here is that way, a flat bed scanner which is a common office scanner. So, the imaging sensor in this case, you would see instead of using a camera or any other, we have chosen to use this way, just because I mentioned the application of online web kind of service was in our mind, that therefore, we have not used any dedicated any special hardware, but a dedicated rather than a dedicated hardware, we have used an available kind of office scanner. So, that is the idea, that so that the advantage of available equipment can be obtained. So, as a byproduct, I have already mentioned that the process of milling, if you see the industry behind it, those who are milling can know in advance, a lot of transparency in the judgment can be made. You may not know, but there are sometimes allegations that the subjective evaluation of a particular sample may not be done in a transparent manner. So, with the machine available in use, the transparency and reliable accuracy etcetera are the objectives that as a byproduct. So, now coming to those 10 refractions. Now, look at it, the rice grain is not just simple white or nearly gray kind of grain, it has so many refractions, as you can see. Some of them are inorganic, which are not desirable, except the sound that is given here as a second. The sound grains are the real good grains that we are looking for. Then on the sound grain itself, there are categories because of their geometry, loss of geometry, they get broken due to milling process, and there are some of them are so broken that they are called small broken, and some of them nearly approaching the powder size called organic matter. Organic matter in the sense they are nearly powder like, very small sized, but they are still edible in the sense that they are part of the grains. Then there are undesirable, see some of you who have the background might know that there are red grains. See the red grains, there are some red peels available on the skin, and they are not fully milled, and this is also not just limited to milling, this is also due to the growth of the grain as well, as per our knowledge. Sometimes due to wetness and other humidity, there is a discoloring, and that is also shown as discolored. The chalky behavior here is like a chalk, the grain acting as chalk rather than a translucent, edible, nice, healthy grain. Sometimes they are damaged due to the growth process or through the milling process, and admixtures are the grains which are not desirable, but they are also edible, but they are not in the level of quality that is expected in the grain distribution. So, we have a problem like that, where grain is no longer a simple grain, but there are 10 kinds of refractions in it, which are only one of them is desirable. It is like that kind of classification problem. So, we start with the processing and reach the classification level through intelligence, as I mentioned, the training of neural network also incorporated in the application. Now, of course, showing you the way the system works, some little bit of ingenuity everywhere. Now, see the scanner and see what we have done with it. We have added a small background of black color to maintain the thresholding operation perfectly workable. Now, thresholding, we know why it will work and where it will work, we have studied it, we know the limitations of it. We have added a black layer, assuming that the grain will not have any similarity of this blackness. So, we have simply put a black layer, and what you cannot see is a transparent layer also lying on the glass of the scanner, which gives us security of the scanner and safety of the scanner. While using the scanner, if you keep putting a lot number of grains again and again, the scanner surface will get damaged. So, it is a part of disposable small kind of, you can say like a file cover with one side transparent, the other side as black, and the transparent side lying on the transparent glass, and the sample can be put on that. So, this is what we are doing as simple imaging using the available office scanner with a slight change on the sampling process, not the sampling process, but the sampling imaging part of it when the sample is being imaged. So, there is a sense at every place, and if you lose it, you do not gain it after the step is over. So, this was something to allow, now you can imagine this was to allow thresholding to work properly. This is a small you can say change to the system. Now, what are the other approaches? Those of you who might have know, as I already mentioned, for other objects of agro sector, the scanner may not be applicable say for pumpkins. Somebody will say if you were to do watermelons cannot be put on the scanner. So, normally the or any other fruit cannot be put on the scanner, only grains and seeds like kind of objects can be put on that, products can be put. So, other approaches use as I mentioned 3 CCD cameras are available, which are true color 3 CCDs, not just one charge coupled device, it has basically 3 cameras in one. Most cameras do not have total true color kind of acquisition. The 3 CCDs are meant primarily for one color, say red, green and blue. In this case, there are color infrared cameras also which have 3 bands excluding the red, but including the infrared, which is generally helpful for the skin depth sensing of fruits and vegetables. So, there are other applications using 3 CCD cameras as well, and other work on this has been using only grayscale imaging also, which did not consider the color aspects as I mentioned. Their purpose was only to see the level of you can say brokenness in the grains. So, if you were to do only thresholding, make geometrical dimension measurement, then only grayscale imaging would have been sufficient. But you see the colors used in the refractions, and even in other colors which may appear chalky or discolored as almost all gray, but the color information was required to separate from the sound. Even the sound grain has color element in it, though it appears to be translucent or gray color, but the shades available in the grains required overall color image processing. So, we chosen that way, and as I mentioned here, very few systems have taken refractions in the larger number as we have taken, and some have limited to 4 or 5. In this case, we have combined all sort of refractions as per the standard. Then some satisfactory performance has been reported on even brown rice, which is not gray, which is brown rice. If you know, you do not know, maybe in India we do not use that. So, brown rice is also a category, people have worked on that as well. Now, considering the algorithm in nutshell first and then taking the steps one by one. Now, the scanner, if you use any time, will acquire a true color image of a document or a sample, in our case say rice sample. So, we can get a true color, that is 24 bit 3 colors per image per pixel kind of image is available using the flat bed scanner, and you may be surprised why we have chosen. One reason we had told you was the availability, easy availability of flat bed scanner, and the other is that the quality of imaging for a grain like situation using a flat bed scanner is much superior than any other camera method, because it is in close contact with the sensor. So, you can imagine the documents are scanned because of their planar 2-dimensional nature on the flat bed scanner, not by cameras and other things, and scanners are slower than cameras, but the quality is higher because of the uniformity of illumination, close packed kind of situation and close contact kind of imaging. So, you find far repeatability available using scanners of this kind, that is flat bed scanner. So, now somebody might have imagined that when you throw, not throw really, place rice sample, grains may be touching each other. So, it is not just thresholding would or any other segmentation will keep every grain separate. Many of the grains may be touching each other. So, there is an algorithm called water shedding, which separates the closely touching grains from each other. So, water shedding was also required, of course, after the binarization process which we discussed earlier using thresholding. So, that comes next. Now, and that situation, once water shedding has been done, the grains have been separated into say a binary image, each one having an index. Index means the number associated with it. We may consider, we could consider their geometrical measurements as to what is the length, what is the breadth, what are the other parameters. So, you will see all those parameters they are mentioned here. For example, size dimensions are length and breadth, shape dimensions are projected area, perimeter, convex perimeter, compactness, roughness and elongation. You will see that some of them are basic parameters like length, breadth and area, even perimeter. Convex perimeter is another parameter. I will come to these parameters once again later on, and then there are some derived parameters also, like for a compactness you can divide one dimension with the other. So, perimeter over area can be used as compactness. So, the idea is that even roughness has been shown here. Roughness is like you make a rough measurement say through a thread. Suppose you want to measure a perimeter of a chair, you may just run over a thread and make that length measurement as a rough measurement, and then have a proper perimeter measurement through pixel by pixel level measurement. So, the ratio of the two is considered as roughness. The object which is circular will have same dimension as 1, and any object which is non circular will have roughness indicated as non 1, value different from 1. So, we will come to these details of these steps also once again, but at the moment the whole algorithm is given in nutshell with the next step as color segmentation. Now, though we said binary, we may have chosen one of the shades say from red, green, blue or even HSI as we mentioned. At some stage as I mentioned, we will enter into HSI model also, but as such for the steps till now till the binarization we could use one of the colors, and red, green, blue or green could have been used. In this case we have chosen red as the appropriate color for binarization process. Due to the involvement of red in other defects, we had chosen red image as the, because geometry could be measured by any one of these, but we had to choose one appropriate, isn't it, because it is quite possible that the boundary obtained by red and green and blue may be different because of the non presence of say blue color, or not that it is not present in a gray color, all the colors are present, but the dimensions are better obtained by red. So, we chosen red color as the base for binarization process. With that as background, now what we have done in the next step, as you see color segmentation, we have copied that model to all the three. So, the segmentation in red, green, blue, all three is obtained. So, if it is becoming too descriptive, all the visuals will be visible. So, just for the sake of completeness, you can say a summary of the algorithm is given here as step by step process. So, in that process we get red, green, blue images of each grain. In that process, since water shedding has been done, each grain image is also separated from the overall big image, which contains large number of grains as you saw while we were placing the sample. So, then comes the RGB to HSI or HSV model conversion to suit the reasons, as we mentioned, we do not process RGB, we process HSI or HSV. So, then comes the classification problem, where we use methods of pixel classification first. Pixel classification means each pixel on a grain is classified to be red, chalky, discolored, or all the refractions that we mentioned which are related with color, and then we do the grain wise classification later on. So, first we do on a smaller micro scale level, where each pixel is first classified. It is like for a skin classification of a person, we might say not RGB, what is the pixel on a skin of a person, we say fairer or say darker or blacker, is not it. That way we do the same thing on pixel classification of grains as well. You will see again the details. Then we come to a grain level overall classification, that okay, the grain has some red in it, some discolored in it, some chalkiness in it, some percentage of say soundness in it and some kind of damagedness also in it, but still the grain is okay, because these percentages are small, the soundness percentage is a good number. So, some training of the system has been done. We are concentrating here on neural network application, but rule based approach has also been done, and now fuzzy rule applications also we are trying. So, what I am trying to say that a grain level classification is the last level classification that is obtained before the report generation. So, with that grain wise report, then we are able to classify each grain, and we have a model generated that gives us some density values. Like we know that this area of chalky will generate this much of weightage. If some of you who know, when you put grains in water, the lighter ones will come up, is not it? The chalky ones will come up. Why? Because the chalky grains are lighter. So, what we have done, we have taken a large sample of chalky, all refractions, and measured them by weight. So, we had a good samples acquired from Marquardt, both for classification purpose and also for training of the density generation. So, from area, not volume, because it is a two dimensional process that we are doing. From the projected area of each class, we could get the particular weight wise report also after we had obtained the number wise report. So, this gives a sort of brief overview of the algorithm, and now again some diagram can probably clarify better, wherein steps are given in the form of blocks. So, as a process or as a flow chart, we have a scan or load kind of step in the first instance. We get a rice sample image, and we may also store it as a database if required. All good samples are stored in the reference database as well. The processing is done by smoothing, as I mentioned, red, by averaging filter that I mentioned, all ones in a mask of convolution matrix, that gives us readiness for thresholding. Many of you may say, as I said, smoothness is still required before you apply threshold. If you do not apply the smoothing operation before threshold, you will not get good boundaries. So, these are the restoration processes that we are doing, which are not visible, which are not even appreciated in the beginning. Somebody might say the image is good enough, straight away why not threshold it. So, when we smoothen it, the histogram becomes very smooth, the class of background and the grains become clearer, and the separation by thresholding value chosen by us, again automatically the system automatically gets that valley point in the histogram, is easier, is rather reliable. So, that gives us the binarization, and then a water shedding algorithm, whose detail I am not giving, is able to separate the grains which are touching each other. So, parallelly then once we have readiness for geometrical measurement, on the right hand side we get each grain, as I already mentioned, into color segments. Each grain gets segmented into red, green, blue kind of. So, when we start, we have say 400 to 500 grains on the image. We segment them, each grain gets separate image. So, cut kind of image that we call it is available for each grain, and then we have 8 geometrical parameters which are mentioned here, already discussed, and there are 5 color parameters which are straightway coming from the classes of interest, but this is at a pixel level. These measurements are done, the two are combined together, a statistical analysis is done to see on what ranges each one of these lie, and then rules are made on one side and a training of neural network is done on the other side. So, basically we have two approaches here available with us, and then either of them can be used, and there are advantages and disadvantages of both of them. You will find the comparison of these as well, and a report is generated as a kind of certificate. It is like marks obtained by a class, it is a total class report which with each grain parameters are also available as a report. So, again as a block diagram, this sample image onwards, probably things will become clearer of what I have been trying to say. Now, this shows the sample with lot number of grains, not very nicely decorated with, you can say, special care, but reasonable care, that at least they are not just bunch of, not a large bunch of grains at one place, or not overriding the other at one place. So, but they are also touching each other or closely, and there are situations where water shedding also does not work very well. So, it is not that once we have water shedding or any algorithm that will solve each problem, every problem here. So, sometimes if you see some situation, you will find the grains are so parallelly touching each other that they appear to be one. So, the algorithm may not find separation of these. So, this is a sort of natural distribution with some reasonable care, and a sample image is visible here. Now, this shows only the histogram analysis that goes in the background. Initially, we had it in a manual mode. Now, it is just to show you that histogram like that is available. The histogram is smooth if you have smoothened the image. This is a very simple observation. If you have smoothened, means you have reduced the variations in the image, though they are appealing nice in the beginning, but for a machine to use thresholding, it is required that you use a simple 3 by 3 averaging smoothing filter. So, that gives you the smoothened kind of histogram as well, and you can see the two peaks indicating here, one of them as background, and the lower one, the smaller one is actually the grains, because there is a lot of black in the image. So, the first peak comes as black background, and then there are grains with some heap, some peak here. You can see that second peak, and also which is not visible is the third peak here is also a chalky behavior, that is too bright, too white, undesirable, but it is there in some of the grains. So, a small portion of pixels do contribute on chalkiness as well. So, we choose a value somewhere in between the first two valleys, first two peaks, and find a valley, and the system automatically finds the center of the two and gets a particular threshold automatically selected, and the grains are available as such.